Welcome back to Alan Wake Part 18, and in this part we are about halfway through to the end of Episode 3, going through the Coal Mine Museum on the way to the Mirror Peak Lookout.
And we must fight yet more disgruntled shadow miners.
It's the off-season!
Now, does mining actually have a dedicated season?
It might. I can definitely understand why people in the Northeast wouldn't want to work outside in the wintertime.
Oh, Alan has been hatcheted to death.
Oh my god, I left that death in the video. Let's try that again, shall we? Yes, that is the checkpoint. Hopefully this won't become painfully familiar. But yes, as I was saying, these men are in the off-season. They shouldn't even be here. As a matter of fact, this is not even a real coal mine anymore. Ow. Frauds. Phonies. Fakes.
Well, at least you're focusing on the ranged attackers first.
Try to, yeah, as a course of good strategy, you want to take out as many attackers as you can, usually meaning you have to attack the weakest ones first, because they're the easiest to eliminate. Okay, you're dead. These guys, on the other hand, are big, slow, and dumb.
So, break through shields with the flashlight.
Walk backwards. Get ready to dodge. Good dodging.
Zap, and then shotguns.
They can only take two. Oh god damn it!
Poltergeist.
Yes, the object blocked it. Fuck yourself. Why, these signal posts are like gifts from God.
So, I've been playing Clone Hero recently, and I gotta say, I am officially at the point where I'm able to full combo a majority of the songs that I'm playing on hard, but I still can't do shit on expert. And it's very frustrating to be stuck in this limbo.
It's okay, Gerda. Yeah, as long as you're happy with the difficulty setting that you play your Guitar Hero clone on, then everything will be right with the universe.
But I am and I'm not. It's weird. I feel like I should be able to, do decently on these expert songs, but I'm telling you, expert is like 50% faster than hard is. It's not 10 or 20 like people will probably try and tell me it is. No, it feels like it's actually 50.
Well, it's because just so I know, this is basically a Guitar Hero clone we're talking about, right?
Oh yeah, it is. It is a Guitar Hero clone built in the Unity engine.
Which means that the music track scrolls faster as the difficulty goes up.
Yep, and it adds more notes.
And it adds more notes, right. So I was going to...
Why did you throw 2 flares?
Because the first one missed.
Oh.
The second one hit the target. I had to take out the poltergeist that was inside this car. Oh god, there's another one. I'm trapped with a monster. Help!
You have vaporized the monster.
This is a one-way path. Alan must proceed in this direction, or he will be lost in darkness forever.
Now, I do say that I'm playing Clone Hero, but to be perfectly honest, I'm playing a neutered version of it because I dislike attempting to find the strum button on my keyboard, and I've not bothered to try and configure it up. So I'm using my Wii U controller as a PlayStation 2 controller. Because that I actually find myself able to do a majority of Guitar Hero 3 and 2 on a PlayStation 2 controller pretty easily. I mean, I still flub up quite a bit, but I'm at least able to do it even with the. Well, that's the thing. Playing on the controller settings doesn't actually have a strum button. It honestly takes a lot of the pressure off.
Yeah.
At least for me.
I remember when my Guitar Hero controller used to stop working, that I would just use the 360 controller and just hit the corresponding note buttons with the buttons on the controller, of course, which is kind of weird. There was no strum. It was just simultaneously hitting the button as the note came up.
Yep.
I always enjoyed playing on expert the most because I kind of like it how the speed of scrolling allows you to see the intervals between the notes.
Yeah, but on a lot of the higher speed metal songs, those notes are just fucking stacked on top of each other. It's why playing on a controller flat out doesn't work in expert mode.
No, it definitely doesn't. The strumming will kill you. The hammer-ons and pull-offs will probably kill you. Pretty much anything that's not Blink 182, just eighth notes, 200 BPM will probably kill you. It's okay, poltergeist, a fly in, it's not right, it is night, we have light, we're going to run from fight. That thing is following me, there is a guy I can't see, he's throwing his weapons, but I am blinding him, running away.
I'm just gonna let you keep going.
I'm all done now.
Oh, alright.
Oh my god! Help me! Please!
You got some flashbangs, don't you?
Flashbacks are noodle cock. They can kill me before the bang goes off.
You know, as shadow miners, they probably do not care what stuff you're hiding behind. They are still humanoid models, so they can go through the same paths that you can. I mean, the bigger miners might not be able to, but god damn it, chair, stop flying at us.
Leave me alone. Don't forget your lunchbox.
Oh, that was nice of him. Thanks.
Are you going to eat your ham sandwich?
Probably. Thanks for reminding me.
I have more coffee in my thermos if you need it.
Cool. This is a nice miner.
Yeah. It's okay. He's gonna take a lunch break for a little while. I'll see him again soon. Don't worry. It's the same character model.
So what have you been up to lately, Mr. Cloud?
Jack Squat. Thanks for asking. Now, what have you been up to, Gerda?
Aside from playing Clone Hero, I was hoping Cody bitch some quests in RuneScape, and then he told me how much gold ore he needs in order to get to 80 smithing, and I uninstalled the client because fuck that.
Nice.
I really do hate the skilling system in RuneScape, specifically for smithing. Most of the other skills are fine, especially for getting up to level 50 and each skill is actually, you know, doable and somewhat entertaining. But anything beyond 60 is just fucking torturous.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't help that smithing is unequivocally the worst skill in the game. It's not the slowest, it's not the most expensive, I'm not talking about that. Actually, leveling smithing is the worst thing in the game.
And to think
the main problem that RuneScape smithing actually has is that there's no real reason for players to actually do the smithing. Like, if you cap out your smithing, wanna know what you get for your reward?
A damn good cup of coffee?
No, actually, that's cooking. What you get for capping out smithing is the ability to craft like a class of armor that's 4 tiers below what you can actually equip.
That is stupid.
That is stupid, and the other crafting profession, specifically crafting, doesn't suffer that problem. If you've got level 40 range or magic, you can realistically make level 40 range gear. I mean, it's a bit expensive and dangerous, but you can do it. Whereas smithing, smithing doesn't have that going for it. You get to 99 smithing, and wow, you can make rune plate bodies. You're supposed to be wielding the God Wars dungeon equipment at this point, which is 2 tiers above that.
I was gonna say that this whole smithing thing and how not cracked up it is to be sounds a lot like Skyrim smithing.
Yeah, but Skyrim smithing is different in the fact that if you do cap out your smithing, you actually get something that's both cool and useful. The Daedric armor set is one of the better armor sets in the game.
Yeah, and what's even better than Daedric armor is dragon armor.
Yeah, and if you have high enough smithing, you can just craft dragon armor.
That's right. You have to max out your smithing in order to craft dragon armor.
Yeah, but that's actually worthwhile. If you want to craft dragon armor in RuneScape, you don't even have to cap out smithing. You got to get it to the cap just before the actual cap, 92.
Right.
And then you need to spend 2 million fucking coins in order to do it.
So,
it's bullshit.
The main comparison I can see is that RuneScape smithing, maxing it out, is worthless because the armor that you get is not even as powerful as the stuff you would have access to by the time you would get your smithing to 99.
Yeah. And it's a problem that a lot of crafting systems in MMOs actually tend to have, where you want the crafting to actually be meaningful, but not super powerful, so you end up having the crafting systems be equivalent to stuff that you can get normally. But RuneScape smithing doesn't do that. RuneScape smithing is total shit.
Yeah, versus Skyrim, although dragon armor has the highest stats, it gives you a higher defense rating than any other armor set in the game, even Daedric armor. Unfortunately, it's cumbersome. It's more cumbersome than any other armor set. So unless you have the heavy armor perk that makes your worn armor weigh nothing, then you're going to be in trouble. The other thing is that it takes a really long time to get to level 100. So, kind of like how in RuneScape, you may likely find yourself in a situation where dragon armor, although nice, would just be redundant.
And that is usually what it is in RuneScape too. The dragon set, if you can actually get it when you're combat level 60, is actually really great. But after combat level 60, you've got the ability to just flat out replace it after a couple of God Wars runs. And since God Wars stuff is technically group content, you should be doing that anyway.
Yeah.
This has been us ranting about poor MMO mechanics in an element game.
And this is why you should never max out your level unless you're trying to max out your character's level. That's the whole point of...
Isn't that one of the big things in Oblivion, that you don't actually want to level up because then the game gets significantly harder?
It's actually more like a curve. It's actually more like a bell curve. People will say like, oh, don't, if you max out your level too quickly, then you're gonna have a hard time. No, actually, in my opinion, it's the mid-game enemies. It's the mid-game enemies at the stage of the game when you fight them that are even more difficult than the end of the game enemies, because at least when you're high enough level, you can resist the end of the game enemies.
Right.
Whereas mid-game in Oblivion, if you're level 17 going up against 2 mountain lions and a clanfear, you're fucked. You hear me? You're fucked.
But then again, that comes back to the combat in Elder Scrolls being shit.
I thought that the combat in Oblivion looked silly. I wouldn't say it was bad.
I would say the combat in Morrowind and Daggerfall is bad.
Well, that's because Morrowind didn't give enemies health bars.
It's not just that. It's that I don't understand if I'm I don't know if I'm in the right spot to actually deal damage to them to start with, and to finish with, I don't know how much damage I'm doing, which again would be partially solved by a health bar.
Right. And in Oblivion, lest we forget, there are many, many times where you will be surrounded by enemies standing perfectly still. All you're doing is just swinging. Everybody's just dealing damage per second to each other. And in the next part, we will deal even more damage per second.